You are listening to your New Puppies podcast, starting you and your dog off on the right paw. Here's your host, Debbie Salento.
Hello and welcome to episode 85 of your New Puppies podcast. I'm Debbie, and today we're going to talk about how to help your puppy sleep through the night, specifically as it pertains to potty training. So a lot of this stuff I've already talked about in episode 10, which is my complete guide to potty training, which I talk a little bit about overnight. So some of this stuff is the same, but some of it is different. I do have some extra tips for you. Potty training can be an overwhelming and time-consuming process, but one of the first things that we want to do is to get our puppy to sleep through the night. Because if we have a good night's sleep, they have a good night's sleep, things will go just that much smoother during the day. So whenever we're talking about potty training and how long your puppy can hold it, we always want to revisit our rule of thumb, which is a puppy can physically hold it for 1 hour for every month they are old. You can add an hour to that for medium and large breeds. And then you can add another hour or two for overnight. So this is also where I like to clarify that just because we can get our puppy to sleep overnight, and when I say that, I mean for 6 to 8 hours. Just because they're holding it for that long overnight doesn't mean that they're going to be able to do that during the day. You know, their bodies are functioning differently. We're going to do some stuff to get them to hold it a little longer overnight. So it doesn't exactly translate. And also remember, just because our puppy can physically hold it doesn't mean they know they have to. I've seen puppies as young as 10 weeks sleep through the night, but it's closer to 16 weeks. If your puppy is 16 weeks and still not sleeping through the night, then there's probably some adjustments that we can make. Okay, so when you first bring your puppy home, if they're 8 weeks, even 10 weeks, like about 2 months old or so, they're not holding it for any more than 4 hours overnight. So you are going to have to do a potty break overnight, most likely. But over those first several weeks home, we can work them up to sleeping through the night. Before we get into specifics, something I've dealt with multiple times, enough that I want to mention it, is that if you get your puppy through a breeder, a lot of times they're like, oh no, puppy's sleeping through the night. They're sleeping in their crate. There's no accidents. There's no potty breaks. They're fine. They come home and that doesn't seem to be the case. I don't know what the difference is. I don't know if there's something lost in translation or what it is, but I've seen it often enough that I always like to mention it. So if you're experiencing that where you're like, what am I doing wrong because my puppy's not sleeping through the night, even though at the breeders they were, I've seen it enough to know you're not doing anything wrong. So let's see if there's a few things that we can do to help them sleep a little longer through the night. Okay, so the first thing we do is we stop all food and water 2 hours before bedtime. This is to make sure that they are empty, that they're last out for the night. They're getting everything out because they haven't eaten or drinking anything for the past couple hours. So hopefully this will get them through, if not the whole night, a little longer. And then you're going to set up everything before you go to bed. Okay? You just let your puppy out. You put him in the crate. Now, everything that you're going to need, your jacket, your shoes, the leash, poop bags, whatever you need, you're going to set up the night before. So when we do have that overnight potty break, you're not going to have to walk around the house and try to find things and trip over things and turn lights on because we know that's what's going to happen. I'll sometimes put a basket right on top of the crate with everything I need, or maybe right next to it, but in one place where you're going to be able to get ready. So all you have to do is leash your puppy and bring them outside when the time comes. And then I want you to set an alarm. For every 3 to 4 hours, depending on the size of your dog, depending on the age of your dog. If you're not sure, 3 to 4 hours, which is about halfway through the night, to play it safe. And I want you to set this alarm because I don't want you to wait for your puppy to whine that they have to go to the bathroom to get up. One, there's more of a risk of an accident there. And 2, we don't want to teach them whining gets them out of their crate, because that's how it can start. It can be, oh, I have to go to the bathroom, I'm going to whine a little bit. Human gets up, takes him out, which is all perfectly fine, but that happens a few times in a row. The puppy learns, I'm bored tonight. I want my human to come get me. I feel like going outside, and they whine even though they don't have to go potty. So if we're waking them up and preempting that whine, it's going to help prevent that habit from happening. Now, when we do take them out, everything is minimal. Just enough light so you don't trip over everything. And try not to talk to your puppy at all. Don't engage, don't play. It's outside, all business, back inside, close the crate, still don't say anything, everybody goes back to bed. Now, if you find you're waking your puppy up, you're setting your alarm for 4 hours and 3 nights in a row, you're waking your puppy up to go. Then push your alarm for 15 to 20 minutes and then repeat. If a few nights in a row, you're still waking your puppy up, push your alarm again. And if you're doing this over a few weeks, eventually your morning alarm and your overnight alarm are going to get close enough where maybe your puppy is just going to sleep through the night. Now, if they whine or if there's an accident when you wake up, then we know we have to move our alarm back. Try it for another few nights and then see if you can push it again. And then we're repeating this until they're sleeping through the night. So a couple other things we can do to kind of ease the nighttime process depends on your household. So if you have a couple adults in the household, then we can try to divide and conquer. If you have one person that is a night owl and up later and another person that is a morning person and up earlier, then you are set. You know, the jobs are obvious. One takes the night shift, one takes the morning shift. And that way, the time the puppy needs to be in the crate so everybody can get a full night's sleep is a little less. If you also hate getting up in the middle of the night, if that's just not something you want to do, because if you wake up in the middle of the night, you cannot get back to sleep, then to make this process go even faster, you might want to switch your sleeping schedule. Maybe you're going to bed an hour later and getting up an hour earlier. Again, reducing the amount of time your puppy is actually in the crate. You are losing a little bit of sleep, but if that's less than if you're getting up in the middle of the night, that completely depends on you and your body and your preference. And then remember, through all of this, we're always listening to our potty training mantra of when in doubt, take your puppy out. If there's an inkling of doubt in your mind, maybe they can sleep just a little bit later. You know what? They're not making a noise. Maybe I can just let it go. Get up, let them out. When in doubt, take your puppy out. I know when it comes to potty training, when you are in it, it feels like you will never be out of it. But I promise it does not last forever. And getting them to sleep overnight happens a lot faster than being able to potty train them and reducing all of the accidents during the day. So that is a bit of good news for you. So if you are potty training a brand new puppy or you have a brand new puppy coming home, you're going to want to check out episode 10, which is my complete guide to potty training your puppy. And if you've had a puppy home for a while, but you can't seem to reduce these accidents and accidents are still happening on a regular basis, then check out episode 79 where I talk about some adjustments you can make and some things to look at if you're still struggling with potty training. And that is all I have for you today. If you are enjoying this podcast, you can rate and review it wherever you listen. And if you would like to continue working with me, I have both private, in-person, and video sessions. I also have my Playtime Paws Academy, which is a dog training membership where you get access to me weekly to ask all of your training questions. You can check all of that out on my website, playtimepaws.com. I will see you here next time. Thank you so much for listening. Bye for now.